Wow. God, it's only been a couple of years. Well, I guess it's just like every day. We've had 2 minutes in, soaking wet. Such are the conditions and weather lately. Alright, here's what I think we're doing. I have to put you in the brook, the washed out brook. It's the only spot where there's no vegetation we can see. If you haven't seen the last several videos, over here we found the late 1700s site where I dug that half real. A little bit over from it, the late 1800s logging site. So that's one block, one square, one piece of the property. And then we're in the middle here. I've never really gone too far up because it's terrible. And then the next one over is another home site. So the point of it is, this section in the middle is one of the only spots where so far we have not found an old home site. Confirmed to the north, to the south, you can see that's east. On either side, we have found cellar holes. So that's where we're going. We're going to go to the top of this once we get past the jungle and see what's up there. And yes, it was a couple of years ago I walked up this pathway, logging mess we're on right now, to get to the chunk over there where I found that other cellar hole. And I don't know, may not be anything out here. Oh, that's interesting. There's wall. Yeah. We're always looking for other walls inside the big squared walls. Actually, I think we're about to cross it anyways. Yeah. Almost at the tree line, unbroken. God, this stuff's terrible. Fortunately, they didn't clear this whole area. They just did a bit of selective cutting, so much nicer. Just all up. And so this is about as far as I've been this way and that way. Like I said, that's where our other, way over, our other cellar hole is. And what we just walked, believe it or not, is about, I think it's a 400 or 500 foot climb in elevation over only half a mile. It's steep. So that's it, we're here. Now we just walk around, look around, and read the landscape. You just figure and wonder if somebody was living, or some buddies were living on either side of this. What were they doing here? Stacked rocks. Oh, a very little bit of stacked rocks. Look at that. Not all the signs are super obvious, not all of them are massive. That is clearly, I don't know, 6 feet of shoulder. That's interesting. But as you can see, it's washed out. Which, does this mean these are old wagon ruts washed out? I don't know. That is man-built. Right? That didn't take very long just getting in here to see that. Oh, I'm still going up. I figured I'd swing along the way since it's so slow anyways. Probably ammo. Which, even if the case, that's still ridiculous up here. I don't know how long I've been going. Half hour. But let's see. Yeah. Unless it came in from the bottom of the hill, which could be the case. Well, that's a good reason to stop. Alright. We have reached the wall of square one, square two, and you can see, looking out over the horizon in the other direction, we've definitely gained some elevation. Oh yeah. Wow. So you'd think, why the hell would you be up here looking for old home sites? This is the distance up that wall that the other two are, and actually they're still a bit further up. It's just once you get into that section of the grid, there's no roads out here. Obviously, old roads. And realistically, this is better looking than the Real site. That square is atrocious. So, you never know. I have to see it. And it's still remarkable. Look at that. Right along the top of the cuff, that's the wall. Wow. You know, in some groups, some circles of people, they call this stuff megalithic structures. You can understand why. Because it's massive and it's old. Jesus, just the plate rocks at the bottom of them. That is no joke. Wow. And again, I don't know what I'm thinking I'm expecting to see or find, but this stuff just sucks me in. definitely something walking around over there. Well, I waited a bit, see if I can make visual contact with it, but nothing. Alright. That's as far as I want to go in that direction. Poke my head into the second square. See what we got. Huh. That actually looks traveled. Definitely. I guess we'll go that way. I guess we will go further than I was thinking. Well, definitely a travel path. Signs of old logging, which is good, because it makes you wonder why they took this course. They may have broke it, but it's definitely older than the typical 30s and 40s. The path is not, it's not harshly beat into the ground. It still has a cart path feel to it. You can see it right there. And as we know, next block over, they were definitely logging, probably before having vehicles. Wow, still up here. Well, there's one that escaped the cut, probably because it's right before the mountain takes its final stretch. It's this whole ridge line. When you get into the last quarter mile, it just goes zoomp. Wow. I just got chills up the back of my neck. Look at the size of this. And you know how much time we spend out in these woods. We don't ever see stuff like this. Wow. Got some crazy shrooms on the other side too. I wish I knew more and could give an age on that thing, but I don't. All I can tell you is it's the largest tree I've seen in a long time. Well, that is the find of the month. Old growth. Well, I'm glad I came up here, because I wanted to see it. And because we did, we found that. Wow. That's an awful long walk to see a tree, huh? Yep. Is it worth it? Yep. I pinned that. That's going on my map. Alright, well, since I don't want to climb that ledge, I'm going to follow the travel path back down, because it actually heads in the direction we came up. We were just further down the hill, but running parallel to it, at least from where we're standing right now. It may change direction. I'll swing as I go. Who knows? Well, I turned this off. It's getting terrible. I'm trying not to lose our line. You know. Which I may have. It disappears so quick. That might be it. Yep, but oh, it's just a big rock. Okay, this is better. This is where our travel path just dumped out into. So I'm going to start heading my way back towards where that 6 feet of rock shoulder was, which should be down there, somewhere in that direction. And look from there. Well, that's a maybe for stacked rocks. It could be a coincidental natural deposit, but there's a few on there. Starting to level out a bit. I think I'm overshooting that small strip of shoulder, but that's all right, because I want to look around anyways, and this ain't half bad, or at least as far as we can see. Probably gets terrible shortly after. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, definitely stacked rocks. That is not a deposit. A couple more. See, in the old days of us doing this, it used to be easy, because you'd find an old road, you'd walk up and down it, find the cellar holes off to the sides, maybe every now and then out back. We've done all that in this area, so now it's, as I've said before, expanding into the outer parts of where we can do this. And these home sites were short-lived, 20, maybe 30 years. So all they had were cart paths going on. They abandoned before they started improving the roads. And as you know, if it's been logged, it makes it extremely difficult. This section, though, this is nice. This is how the forest should look. But it makes it a lot more difficult, especially if there's no cellar hole. If it's just a footprint somewhere. Look for that stack of rocks that looks like a chimney, or hopefully find a cart path that takes you somewhere. But right up in here, somebody was doing something. They were stacking rocks, and at this point we are pretty far from the back wall we were following, so we're inside. that was definitely wet. It was definitely an interesting section. Now I have to cut back through the fresh cut jungle on my way out. But I did pass that wall down the bottom, so I'll go poke my head in there a little bit. It ain't gonna happen. Too thick. I can just see a bit of wall, but it's all thick. Well, that was fascinating. So way up, there's walls, there's stacked rocks, travel paths, old logging. The old growth tree was amazing. And that's the thing, somebody was doing something up there a long time ago. But it's not like I'm just gonna walk up there 1 or 2 days and probably find it easily. I just have to keep revisiting and moving over every time I come out here. But believe me, that is up there. Wild. All right. I have a little bit more of this, so I'm gonna go. Thanks for watching. I will see you next time.